Good evening. We'll go ahead and get started. Just injury-wise, give you all I can. We're just working through the injury list right now. Really no update for you at this time. So we'll just take it one day at a time and get these guys going and working through some rehab and working through some treatment, and then on into tomorrow.
Sean, I'm sorry we injured last night, but did Ty reactivate the same ankle from week 11?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's just, we'll just take it one day at a time here and see how he does.
Who else is on that list other than Ty? And I'm assuming Levi.
Yeah, Levi's on that list. We'll just see how he does as well. He obviously, got dinged yesterday, so we'll see how that goes through the week here. Who else do you have in mind, Jay?
Is there anybody else that falls into that category?
Not. I think that's probably overall about it. We had Andre working through some things last week and Shaq, and they'll continue to work through some things.
Cody, Saran, Taryn.
Yeah. They came out a little dinged up, but again, it's continuing like the rest of them to work through those today and get some treatment on it. Yeah.
Isaiah said yesterday that he hadn't really worked at corner, but just kind of tapped and said, "Hey, you're gonna be our third string. You ready to go?" I mean, what made you think, Isaiah, that's the guy if in a pinch when you play corner?
Well, like I said after the game, John Butler, our secondary coach, came up to me and kind of mentioned it during the game, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I don't think Isaiah got too much work running backwards during the week, but he did a good job. So he, like I said after the game, I think it's very admirable the way he went in and handled himself, and so it was good to see.
How important has it been for Kevin to get the reps he's got, Kevin Johnson, that is, since you guys started the rotation, now especially if Levi can't go, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, he's a good corner. He's played well for us, and he's going to continue to grow and get better and better. And I think there's good continuity there with the players that are on the field, and Kevin's been out there enough to know exactly what we're trying to get done.
When it comes to Josh, go back to that last Texans game, or his own one and only Texans game, and him getting hurt. And there was a feeling, I think you mentioned it, I know Josh mentioned it, that he felt like that was the game in which he was turning a corner, and then he got hurt. But he felt that the 4 weeks off helped provide him perspective. Did you see that at that time and see how far he's come and the jump that he made?
Yeah, I mean, you look at signs of growth, right, in the first year, and that was certainly a phase in his growth and development where he had a chance to get out there, but he also had a chance to take a step back and watch, whether it was Matt, Nate, Derek, I believe. So it was really good for his growth. I never want a player to go through that, but I thought the way he handled it really spoke volumes about who he is.
Sean, you said yesterday one of the biggest differences between a regular season game and a playoff game is speed. Are there any differences in getting ready for a playoff game?
No, I mean, I think we do things rather well just overall with our process and the consistency with which we approach every week. And that's really the important thing this week as well.
Does this have a different feel getting ready going into this playoff run than it did 2 years ago?
Just really, knowing a few weeks ahead that we made the playoffs, probably the biggest thing. And other than that, it's preparation as normal, and we understand we're playing one game seasons at this point as well, same as we were 2 years ago, and so I think as a staff, obviously this is our third year for the most part together now. So that experience is good for us, and the continuity that comes with that. But overall, we've got to put a good week of preparation in together and be focused and continue to grow through the week here as we prepare for a good football team.
Sean, you talked yesterday after the game about Duke and the possibility of playing himself onto the game day roster. Now that you've had a chance to look at the film of the game, where do you fall on that?
Yeah, we'll look at it. We saw some good moments from some of our young players yesterday, and you mentioned Duke. He had some good moments. There were some other players out there as well. So it's something we have to continue to balance and just see who we feel gives us the best chance to win each week.
Sean, you've coached at 26 playoff games. I'll give that credit. He came up with that stat. But What have you learned over the years about the playoffs? You know, going back to your time at Philly, Carolina, you know, what have you learned about preparation and what it takes?
Well, I mean, I just think it's important that you stay consistent from a leadership standpoint, from a routine standpoint for coaches and players, quite honestly, and then and we doubled down on the philosophy of what wins, and so just the experience that I've been fortunate to have through 26 games is you know, just using all that experience and kind of the knowledge and intelligence that I've gleaned from it to help us as we continue to move forward as an organization, probably is the biggest thing that we'll try and put into place this week.
What's your message to players or coaches that are going to be going through it for the first time and tasting the playoffs for the first time?
Yeah, we've got a number of those guys. I think just overall, like I said, Matt, it's just keep it consistent, you know, and philosophically, we believe what we believe, and let's double down on that, and let's do our jobs. I mean, it comes down to being 111th and doing our jobs and holding one another accountable, and not letting letting each other down, right? So I'll never want to, you know, you work hard all the way through the season, and then including this time of year, because you don't want to let people down, and that's me not wanting to let any of the team down, and them not wanting to let each other down. And so I think there's a good accountability factor in that with our football team.
What stands out about the job that Brian has done this year when you consider, you know, that you guys lumped in 9 new starters from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think we've started to lay a foundation, probably more than anything, Jay, at this point. You know, we've had our challenges, but we've started to lay a foundation offensively for how we want to build this thing on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, we've gone through the early swings, and then we've kind of, you know, started to really improve in some areas, and then there's other areas we have to continue to improve on, just like our overall football team. But I think, you know, just overall, I think Brian has started to lay a foundation.
He was maybe a high school senior, just out of high school, the last time this franchise won a playoff game. To get to this position, and he wasn't, you know, with you a couple of years ago when you made it. For him to get to this position, do you realize maybe how special this opportunity is for him, and is that something maybe he would even talk to the team about?
Well, I mean, I think just overall, we try and keep it as normal as possible. You know, I've heard a lot of cool stories about growing up in Buffalo and West Seneca and Brian's early childhood around here, and I think it's really cool that he can coach basically for the team he grew up watching in his own backyard. And you know, having said that, we've got a job to do, and I expect we'll be focused through the week, Brian included, and our football team as well.
Coach, in preparing for Houston and knowing the impact player that J.J. Watt can be, the availability, I realize, is still up in the air, but teams, as much as they change over the course of a year, knowing how long it's been since he's been on the field for them, how do you blend preparing for him and the difference he can make in the game, and how much maybe that defense has changed from the last time he was on the field with them?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their playmakers, J.J. being one of them, you know, he's just one of many on the defensive side and the offensive side, special teams. They've got quite a few guys that can make plays, and he's a game changer. He really is, and as is Deshaun and Merciless, the same. I mean, the list goes on. So they've got some real game-changing type players on their roster, and that in and of itself would be a challenge for us.
Is there something to sacking Deshaun 7 times the last when you played them in October 2018?
What about it?
Is there something that can carry over, or did you find something?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, you know, Deshaun's, you know, just watching him all the way from his time at Clemson to now, he's as I mentioned before, he's a playmaker. He generates a lot of plays. You know, he's extremely accurate with the football, and he's a big part of their offense. So they've got weapons, him being one of them, and I think Bill has done a really good job of using those weapons and spreading the ball around and using Deshaun, and then you know, he's tough to stop. Their team, their offense in this case with Deshaun at the forefront is tough to stop.
You guys stopped him.
Yeah, different team, you know, different year. So this will be a different game, and that's why, John, we've got to prepare with that in mind. I mean, what we did last year probably won't affect this game.
Sean, do you you see any similarities between the way Josh and Deshaun play the position?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think they're both young quarterbacks that have bright futures. Josh, you guys know Josh, and I think Deshaun is putting his own signature on the position in his own way, quite honestly, and then Josh is doing it his way as well. So, two good young players should make for good watching, good viewing for everyone at home.
How much do you have to prevent yourself from trying to overthink things too much this week?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the 26 games comes in. It helps me. That you, as I said before, it's just we've got to make sure that we continue to grow. I mean, I've been in games where it comes out and it works to your favor, and then in games where it doesn't. And then I think you try and take the lessons you learn, because that feedback you get becomes intelligence to help you as you move forward. And so that's part of the drive as to where we're trying to go, and how hopefully you can help the football team and impart some knowledge, and you try and at the same time you want to win so bad. I mean, that's there, but you also have to have your antenna up from a self-awareness standpoint of saying, hey, we still have to, everyone's got to do their part here, and my 1/11th and everyone's 1/11th around the building, that we all have to do our job and do it at a championship level this week.
Does it matter that people still question whether this is a legitimate playoff team based on your schedule, and that, you couldn't beat this team, you couldn't beat that team, but there are still skeptics out there? Does that matter to any degree inside this building?
I don't think we can control any of that. What matters is what we can control, and our focus inside of our building, and our focus on the process this week.